What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Angle of Pursuit mini pod, short videos, whatever you want to call them. We're live here on the YouTube page. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are leaving questions in comments and letting us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see, all that good stuff. But joining me today, you saw him in the previews. You know him if you listen to the Fantasy Baseball Pod. You read his defensive streaming article each and every week on Fake Pigskin, and if you're not, you're missing out on some really good stuff. It's Ben Rolfe. What's up, Ben?
Not much, Kyle. Looking forward to the Chelsea-Man City game that's about to kick off as we record this. I'm going to head downstairs and watch that while I cook some nice food this evening to get myself all ready for Wembley tomorrow.
Absolutely, and wanted to have you on because you will be at that Jets-Saints game tomorrow. Talk to us. I know you've been into this game or these, different games that they've had in the UK over the years. Kind of what's that experience like? What is it like for, as a fan? Is it especially you where you're really into football and you love fantasy and real football. What's it like to kind of see those games up close and, what does everybody in the crowd how do they react to seeing everybody?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange mix. It's really interesting at the start because you very often get one team dominant, and it doesn't matter who's the home team and who's the away team. You very often will get a favoured team. My bet tomorrow is it will be I'm thank God you said the Jets. I'm thanking God it's not the Jets because I do not want to see the Jets play football. It's the Dolphins and the Saints.
Dolphins.
So the Dolphins have got a bit of a following over here because the trouble is over here. I'm a New England Patriots fan, so I can't call them glory hunters, but you get my point. Over here, we tend to follow the teams that are successful because they're the teams we tend to see on TV. So we've got a lot of fans in there, what will be in their sort of 30s, 40s, who will remember the Dan Marino days. Some will go back even to the 1972 guys. So it's going to be a very Dolphins-heavy crowd tomorrow. I'm a bit split. I don't really have a great amount of feeling for either of these teams. I like the Dolphins. I like a lot of their players. I'm going to personally be supporting JJ. It's going to be amazing to see a British NFL player. There was one last week actually played for Baltimore, played his debut for Baltimore, but I think he'd probably rather forget that ever happened as well as everybody else. But it's going to be great to see JJ. I think every time he breaks off a run, the crowd's going to go crazy, be it a Saints fan, be it whatever. If you're a British NFL fan, it's going to be a great moment to see JJ go. They're always interesting, the games. I have to say, it's always a good atmosphere. You don't mind. We don't even mind if the game is of a low quality. If it's a close game, that's what you want to see. You've paid to be there. You've got excited. You've driven down. For me, it's a 2-hour journey down, a tube ride in. It all builds up. We throw a ball around before the game. It's all nice. And what you want to see is a close game. I mean, we saw the Rams Giants last year, and it was to put it frankly, it was a crap fest. I mean, Neither team bothered to turn up, but the atmosphere was great because right up until the end, the game was within one score. And when you've got that kind of game, you get someone to root for. Personally, I was rooting against Odell Beckham because I think he's the most horrific man in the world of football at the moment. But that's what it is. It's just you pick your villains and your heroes. I wear my Patriots top every time. If the Jags are there, well, I didn't go last week. I was busy doing a small 100-mile bike ride. But if the Jags are there, I'm always a Jags fan. I want to support them. They've made the commitment to come over here. It's been wonderful that they've done that. And tomorrow, I'm so excited. It's the very original game, I believe, that was ever over here was Miami or the Saints. It was one of the very early ones. These were two teams that committed quite early. So it's going to be great to see them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think we're going to see the Dolphins bounce back. They're going to be in that week 3. We saw everyone else explode in week 3, and hopefully now we're going to see the Dolphins do that. I can't wait to see Cutler hooking up with Devontae Parker. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. It's just going to be an amazing experience. I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope it's a reasonably good game. A lot of passing. Get to see JJ rip off some runs. It's going to be a lot of fun. We go there as a group, me and my brother-in-law, and one of my mates from work, and we just try and have fun. And we make the whole day about fun. We throw a ball around. It gets a bit, as you can imagine, it all starts a bit. Well, we're British. We don't really know how to throw the football, but over the course of an hour of actually doing it, we learn how to do it, and then it all starts to get a bit dangerous for the people around us because we start throwing it a bit harder, and we also can't really catch, so that doesn't help.
It's fun. It's awesome that you guys just take part in the full tailgate experience. But yeah, You should record some little videos of you guys throwing the ball around. I think that'd be hilarious for everyone to see. I
Yeah,
am
my brother is particularly bad, and he won't thank me for saying that.
I am glad to hear you're back on board with the Dolphins this week. Obviously, I recommended Cutler as a QB streamer. I like their pass catchers. I think Ajayi gets back on track. Everybody expected them to go off against the Jets, and they didn't. So I think a lot of people are going to fade them this week, and I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one that thinks there's a nice bounce back opportunity here.
Yeah, I think one team is going to have trouble. I really do. They come over here, and you often find that one team slows down. But we got a fantastic game last year with Cincinnati and Washington. The Jags clearly don't get put off by coming to London. It's a real advert. They should just play in London. They are
Right?
so much better
Blake,
here than they are
Blake
anywhere in
Bortles,
America.
4 touchdowns. Like, just let them play there 24/7.
Yeah, Mercedes Lewis I hear is taking up residency in Buckingham Palace. So it's just going to be. I think Miami are going to be really good. I do have a lot of feeling with them being strong this year. The Jets defense has not been terrible this year. I mean, the Bills, we all wondered, was it the Bills offense not clicking? The Raiders, they were in that game right up until a fumbled punt return right on the edge of half time. And then the game just ran away from them. They were chasing the game. They made some mistakes on offense. And then Michael Crabtree just kind of took over the game with his 3 touchdowns. So I actually don't think the Jets defense is that bad, which I think is promising for the Miami Dolphins offense. I think you've got to remember they missed a week. They went best part of 20 days, 10, 15 to 20 days without actually touching a football, a lot of their main guys. So I think that's something that they're still getting over. I think, like I say, we saw offense really come to the fore. And I'm really excited to see Michael Thomas and Drew Brees, and just I want to see how they use Alvin Kamara, the Saints. How I'm a big Mark Ingram guy, so I want to see him get plenty of touches. But it'll also be great to be able to cheer when Adrian Peterson comes out and just honour him the way that he deserves at this stage of his career. We've seen him once before, and he was fantastic. I'd love to see him touch the ball plenty again. To me, it's just going to be a fun day.
Can you yell at Sean Payton for us and tell him to give Mark Ingram the damn ball? Because
I will try.
he's like one of the players that Sean Payton. I swear there's something there that'll come out in some tell-all book after Ingram retires.
Yeah, Ingram slept with Peyton's daughter or something, and he couldn't forgive him. Like,
you
hear all these things when football managers get sacked over here about how one of the players took a liking to the daughter, and it caused friction. It just wouldn't surprise me if there was something there that. Because Mark Ingram, every time you think he gets the opportunity, they sign someone A to run the ball and then B to catch the ball. It's an absolute nightmare for him. But Kamara looks interesting, but I'd use him in the slot and line Ingram up in the backfield. I think that'd be a great fun offense to watch tomorrow.
100%. And the Dolphins' offense is interesting. Obviously, they had to fly out to California for their first official game after Game 1 was canceled. Then they're off to New York. Then they're off to London. Do you worry about that travel kind of impacting them, and maybe they're the team that kind of lays a huge egg again this week?
I kind of do, but I also just kind of think that travel is part of the NFL life. And when you play in these kind of extremes like Seattle, I consider Florida to be somewhat of an extreme because other than the other teams around there, you've still got a few hours of traveling to get anywhere from down at the south of Florida where Miami is. So I think they're a team that can handle travel. We've seen in the past that traveling over here doesn't seem to generally be an issue. Let's ignore the Baltimore Ravens. They didn't come here. They didn't prepare. They landed on Friday morning. They got what was coming to them. I'm sorry, but you've got to fly out here earlier than that. You've got to be ready. You've got to get acclimatized. You can't land here Friday morning and expect to play a game at what's it going to be? It's close to 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. You can't do that. And that's what. As long as the Miami Dolphins take it seriously this week, I think they'll be absolutely fine. I think the Saints were here on Monday night. I saw Drew Brees at the Arsenal football game. Like, I mean, that's doing it properly. The Saints didn't mess around, and hopefully both teams will reap the benefits from just taking it a bit more seriously than the Ravens appeared to.
Yeah, and let's put a little pick your brain. If you're going out there, going to London to see your favorite team play football, is there something that as Americans should do that once we're there? I mean, obviously, if we can take in a Premier League game, I think that would be definitely top my list. But is there anything that you highly recommend if we're out there for a couple days for a game?
I absolutely love London. If you're flying out here and you're being based around London, where Wembley Stadium is, I absolutely think you get a tour of Wembley Stadium. Try and find a game on a. It's a bit late now for me to be saying this, but try and find a game on a Saturday afternoon. There's normally, and don't even look for a Premier League game. Look lower down the leagues. I mean, there are tons of teams around London, just outside London. The train system can get you there. There's so many football teams that don't sell out their grounds that you could get a ticket and just go and experience. I actually would say I'm a Chelsea fan, but I would say the atmosphere outside of the Premier League is probably actually better if you just want to experience raw passion of a football game. Look in the Championship in League One. The quality won't be as high, but the passion from the fans will be. And who knows, you might visit, say, Leighton Orient and find a team that you want to root for the rest of your life. Like there's some real fun teams out there. It's well worth having a look on a Saturday afternoon. But if not, just drink in London. London's got so much history. You can see it all in sort of 24 hours, 36 hours. You can buy this pass on a bus and do it all. It's a great city to explore. There's so much there. Some wonderful food in London. I absolutely just throw yourself into the experience. Come over, have a long weekend, especially if you're coming from the East Coast. We do the long weekends to New York, do the long weekend to London, and just try and drink it all in. I think you could absolutely find a wonderful thing. The UK is a great country to explore if you want to come for longer. I feel like I should get a job in the tourism industry at the moment. But personally, like for me, I'd come to America and watch baseball. If you want to try something that's English, there's been cricket right up until this part of the year. Like it would have been great. They played recently in, I can't even think where the last game was, but if you could have got a ticket to see cricket or anything like that, come over here, just try something that you just can't find in America, because we have so much interesting stuff here that, like, I wouldn't come to America and start watching soccer games, but I know that makes sense. I'd come to America and want to go to a baseball game and a hockey game and all that kind of stuff. Just have a look around wherever you're staying. There's always something going on. It's a great place, London. It really is.
That's awesome. All right, Ben, this was a lot of fun. It was good to catch up. Make sure you are reading Ben's defensive streaming articles each and every week on Fake Pigskin. As well, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll talk to you guys down the road.